Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for the verbal cyclone as Hasanabi, the erudite maestro of digital discourse, steps onto the stage to engage in a lyrical spa, a modern-day rap battle of ideas.
What do people say when they say that? Soviet Union, communism, 1,000 billion people dead. It's true, Marx said to do it. He said...
Wait, what is he talking about? I don't think he's not like...
You know what's funny right now?
I wanted to annoy myself and others because 'tis the season to give and receive.
You know what's funny right now is watching the hardcore left walking away from their hardcoreness, you know? After they've took out so many innocent people, now they're doing their new thing is like, nobody got canceled!
No, he's not even talking about Stalin. He's literally talking about like... he's talking about cancel culture or whatever, or like... I think this was about Me Too, right? He's talking about rad libs and like people getting fired and No, he's not talking about Stalin.
What are you talking about?
When he says that the left killed all those innocent people, is he talking about Stalinism? That's like usually what people say when they say that. Soviet Union, communism, 1,000 billion people dead. It's true, Marx said to do it. He said it in the first page of Capital. Go read it.
Oh God, another old person saying we can't even say this. It's like, no, you did do that. You did do that, you f***s. Right?
Hey, swear word. Very naughty, Bill.
That is what happened. That is what happened.
Yeah, no, he's literally hitting the both side argument where he's saying like, it's like when people say, oh, you can't even say this no more. Well, except people do say it, and the people do actually unironically cancel those people, and then they say, oh, we haven't really canceled them. That's what he's saying.
It'd be nice if he could be specific about who actually was really canceled. The biggest example I can think of what he's talking about, of big internet backlash to stand-up specials, is Dave Chappelle. And we all know just how...
I think what old Bilbo Baggins is talking about is not necessarily about Dave Chappelle. I think he would probably even joke about how Dave Chappelle was not really canceled. Old Billy Bits. He would he probably means like whenever like a random person, like it's probably like Shane Gillis, you know what I mean? Or whenever whenever people get together and go, all right, this is people do get ahead of themselves every now and then and go, that's really fucked up. But as an old Bostonian man, I think he's too heavy-handed on this. As an old Bostonian man, I think he's going a little too heavy-handed on the cancel culture, which is something that he's actually railed against a lot. So it's I think his position is more nuanced than that. Defending Bill Dick riding? No, I will always defend him. I've also seen that special. It's like an older video of his. Important follow-up question: is anyone talented to be canceled? No. Yeah, Bilbo Baggins is the fan. I will defend him all day, every day.
How canceled he was. Him and his $20 shagillion Netflix deal. Chris D'Elia, maybe? Is that who he's talking about? People figured out that he was sexting minors as a 42-year-old, and they stopped having him on their podcast.
I don't think Dave would defend either of these motherfuckers.
Don't let it get you. Also, he's still
Or not Dave, sorry. Bill Burr would defend either of them. Like, I know Bill Burr loves Dave Chappelle, but I don't think he would defend the cancel culture shit for him.
This clip is just kind of embarrassing. Listen how quiet the crowd is. Pity laughs for a 20-year-long career comedian. It's sad, you know? Don't know what to say about it other than they just keep doing it. The comics keep doing the cancel culture thing. And man, it's been like 4 years of it. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. This guy's a funny guy. I've seen some of his specials that are pretty funny.
No, Bill Burr is the GOAT. I will defend him unironically and unconditionally. Stop saying Bill Burr fell off. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Bro, you see one goddamn attempted humor in a sea of commentary, in a sea of comedy, and you immediately make up your mind, I hate this goddamn community sometimes. Jesus Christ. Please, man, how many times do we have to rewire your brains in the community? It's like, please, okay? Please. Comedians attempt to make people laugh, okay? That is their job. Their job is to try and make people laugh. Time and time again has talked about how cancel culture is greatly overblown. You see one goddamn clip, completely devoid of any nuance or context, and you're like, that's it, dude. No jokes. Yeah, he had a bad take. Whatever. Jesus Christ. You know what this is? You don't see my ass constantly yelling about people listening to music, okay? I openly say, I don't listen to music, and I shut the f up. But so many motherfuckers have to have a take on comedy when they don't like it. You just don't like comedy. It's fine. You don't understand it. You don't appreciate it. You don't like it. And that's perfectly normal. You don't have to literally look at it and go, well, this is political commentary, actually. This is a person who is unironically trying to lead masses into doing pogroms against those who are vaccinated or some shit. It's not that serious. Come on, dude. This is a guy who's literally spent his entire life doing comedy. And his politics are very good, too. I get very annoyed and people go, why are you defending him? I already made up my mind about him. You must have some other secret reason why you're defending him. Maybe you just like really like him and that's why you're defending him. Maybe you've just lost touch with your sensibilities, I guess, for Bill Burr. And it's like, it's so stupid, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. How is Bill agreeing with us? He spends 2 minutes agreeing with the clip with Bill from Our here is doubling down on the jokes he made in the clip. No, this is not the same clip, dumbass. He's saying it doesn't matter. Cancel culture is not real. You're making a big deal about it on your own.
And,
all right.
you know,
well,
so, I mean, I guess you can do that, but I mean, it doesn't mean that's what I was saying.
Well, then forget it. Let's not have a good crowd.
You're defending him because he's white, lol? Oh, my God. Yes, that is it. You've actually analyzed. Once again, you're doing the thing that I'm literally complaining about. You analyzed 10 hours of commentary over the course of the past 5 years to find out that I'm a secret white who defends white people unconditionally. Thank you. Thank you. You got it. You did it. You arrived at it. I am such a bad white that I literally want to fight on expert difficulty, okay? I'm always literally trying to teach people not to be racist, okay? And educating people on anti-racism so that other people can be less racist, so that it's harder for me to be secretly racist because that's my kink. Okay? You caught me. I've even gone so far amongst the memes to just like hide my white supremacy that I got banned for anti-white racism on this very same platform that you're watching. No disrespect to Noah too. I love Noah, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Like from time to time, he's going to say some shit that's not that funny, okay? You have to look at the entire body of work of a person, or, I don't know, watch one random podcast, and you will probably very quickly recognize that this is not a person that's like a bad guy in any capacity. Okay? Like, I'll tell it to you like this. You are a profoundly sheltered person if you think Bill Burr is like a reactionary. Okay? He has his weak spots. Nobody's perfect. Okay? You know? But if you unironically think a dude, a Bostonian motherfucker at his age, at his level of wealth, if you listen to what he has to say across the board and you come across one aspect that you don't appreciate with and you immediately write him off, you are so goddamn sheltered that you cannot exist in the real world at all.
His ire is directed towards YouTuber No Samsen, a player in the virtual Colosseum, and his critique of the venerable comedian Bill Burr, a comedic gladiator whose jests echo through the ages. In the arena of cancel culture, Hasanabi, like a modern-day Cato, staunchly defends Bill Burr, arguing that the cacophony surrounding cancel culture lacks the dulcet tones of nuanced discourse. His verbal lance, akin to Alexander's swift strikes, pierces through the arguments that assail the comedic citadel. The arena becomes a tapestry of rhetoric, a digital thermopylae where ideas clash like the shields of Spartan warriors. The crux of Hasanabi's defense is rooted in the belief that comedy, like a musical symphony, should be enjoyed for its melody rather than dissected for political undertones. He, in the cadence of a hip-hop lyricist, emphasizes that comedians are maestros of mirth, not politicians in jesters' clothing. Bill Burr, the comedic minstrel, should be appraised in the panorama of his career, not dissected like the carcass of a sacrificial lamb. Amidst the intellectual melee, Hasanabi, like Archimedes grappling with mathematical theorems, expresses his vexation with those who assume his defense of Bill Burr stems from racial kinship. He, the Sisyphean educator, rolls the boulder of anti-racism uphill, combating stereotypes and asserting his intellectual autonomy. Hasanabi, the sagacious maestro, suggests that the audience should scrutinize a creator's entire opus before casting judgment. He, in the vein of literary critics dissecting Shakespearean sonnets, urges a holistic perspective on Bill Burr's body of work. The comedic narrative, he contends, is a Shakespearean play with multiple acts, not a mere monologue echoing in the void. In this intellectual crucible, Hasanabi concedes his appreciation for no Samsen, a nod reminiscent of a diplomatic olive branch extended across the digital divide. Yet, like a modern Machiavelli, he advises discernment in appraising a creator's oeuvre, cautioning against myopic judgments based on isolated instances. Behold the digital agora, where the tumultuous tides of cancel culture crash against the comedic citadel. In this labyrinth of hypersensitivity and ideological turbulence, comedians find themselves navigating a perilous terrain, akin to tightrope walkers traversing a chasm between laughter and controversy. The constant urge to cancel comedians, spearheaded by certain groups, has become a modern-day spectacle, a digital colosseum where jesters are pitted against the vox populi. Comedy, historically the court jester's domain, is now fraught with pitfalls, as the comedic landscape intersects with the minefield of political correctness. Certain groups, armed with the weaponry of moral absolutism, embark on a quest to dethrone jesters who dare to venture into the territory of discomfort. It is a crusade reminiscent of iconoclastic fervor, where the statuesque comedic idols are toppled in the name of perceived righteousness. The paradox lies in the clash between the sacred and the profane, the sacred realm of free expression that comedy traditionally inhabits versus the profane demands of cancel culture seeking to sanitize the comedic sphere. Like fire and water, these elements are irreconcilable, yet they clash in the digital crucible, leaving comedic figures dancing on the precipice of cancellation. Comedians, often heralded as modern-day philosophers, wield the sword of satire to critique societal norms and challenge the status quo. However, the constant urge to cancel them reflects a cultural shift wherein laughter is scrutinized with the meticulousness of a Byzantine inquisitor. The digital inquisition casts a shadow over jesters who once reveled in pushing boundaries, forcing them into a delicate dance between wit and cautious restraint. The irony is palpable, a comedic landscape besieged by those who mistake jests for political manifestos. The perpetual urge to cancel comedians arises from the conflation of humor with ideology, a fallacious equation that neglects the fundamental nature of comedy as a mirror reflecting society's idiosyncrasies, not a political platform for indoctrination. In this cauldron of cancel culture, certain groups wield the cudgel of moral righteousness, demanding comedians conform to their ideological echo chamber. The comedic crucible, once a bastion of irreverence, becomes a stifling echo chamber where laughter is only permissible when it aligns with prevailing sensitivities. The oft-cited defense of cancelling comedians for offensive remarks rests on the premise of accountability. Yet, accountability, when wielded as a bludgeon, risks devolving into a digital witch hunt, reminiscent of historical purges where the heretical were cast into the abyss of societal disdain. The lyrical crescendo of Hasanabi's argument lies in the acknowledgement of human fallibility. He, the philosophical bard, acknowledges that perfection is an elusive muse, and Bill Burr, like Achilles with a vulnerable heel, is not immune to imperfection. The digital amphitheater becomes a tapestry of intellectual humility, woven with threads of acknowledgement that even comedic titans have their Achilles' heels. On one side of the stage stands the herald of accountability, proclaiming the need for justice and the dismantling of toxic power structures. On the opposing flank, the defender of free speech raises the banner, decrying the potential stifling of expression in the name of righteousness. The intersection of this discourse with the realm of comedy adds an additional layer of complexity, as humor becomes both a shield and a weapon in this intellectual joust. Proponents of cancel culture argue that it serves as a corrective force, holding individuals accountable for their past transgressions or harmful actions. Like the Furies of Greek mythology, cancel culture seeks to redress imbalances and demand justice for marginalized voices. The digital agora becomes a courtroom where the accused stand trial for their perceived sins, and the jury is the collective conscience of the online community. However, the defenders of free speech, reminiscent of Voltaire's timeless maxim, posit that cancel culture poses a threat to the very essence of democratic discourse. The fear is that the guillotine of public opinion, wielded by the cancel culture executioner, may silence dissenting voices and hinder the free exchange of ideas. The tension between accountability and the protection of expression becomes a tightrope walk over the chasm of ideological polarization. Comedy, with its irreverent wit and satirical edge, finds itself entangled in the web of cancel culture. Comedians, traditionally the court jesters of society, now navigate treacherous waters where a misplaced joke can transform laughter into a digital storm. The question arises, should comedy be exempt from cancel culture's scrutiny, or must it too evolve with the changing tides of societal norms? In conclusion, Hasanabi's verbal ballet against No Samsen and in defense of Bill Burr is a magnum opus of modern discourse, a tapestry woven with the warp and weft of historical allusions, cultural references, and the resonant beats of hip-hop cadence. As the digital saga unfolds, we are left with the echo of ideas colliding, a lyrical labyrinth where the intellectual symphony reverberates through the virtual corridors of debate.